Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Cities Skylines. Now today, as promised, we're going to be working on a new industrial zone, but there's a few things we do need to update on while we are doing that. Mainly, I have now developed a second farming district up by the new residential area that we built. Oh god, look at that traffic, that's not too good, we may have to have a little look at that. Incidentally, our traffic management hasn't been great. We're between about 78 and 81%, and there are a couple of areas where we're getting significant snarl-ups. You'll also see that there's quite a few abandoned commercial buildings, because I think our new commercial zone was put in a little bit too early. We need to attract more residents to Caulfields, and I'm probably going to be putting in a few new residential areas in and around our industrial zones to try and give people in that area jobs to go to and things. We also may need to peel back some of our office buildings that we've put in place to try and funnel our citizens to jobs in the industrial sector to try and balance things out a little bit. But all of that could come today or at a later episode, because today's main task is focused on our new ore industries that we're going to be putting together. Let's dive in. Now, I've already mapped these out. You can see we've got Holly Pit and Autumn Mining, and we've put in our main buildings. They need power and they need water. So we're going to hook those up as soon as possible and wait till the next day so that we can actually start building in the light of day. Alright, so we are back and it's a bit lighter. We've also got our power and our water hooked up, so it's time to start putting in some buildings. And the only thing we have available to us at the moment is a small ore mine. So we're going to pop that down here in that section, and then we're going to pop another one in here in this section. And that will kick off our industry. Now, we don't have anything else unlocked yet for the industry apart from the ore grinding mill, the sand storage. I think that might be it. Oh yes, of course we've got the ore industry fence, which if we want to get creative we can put in, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just trying to learn the game. Like I've said, this whole thing is leading up to Cities Skylines 2 coming out, so I don't want to be getting too in-depth with things. So we're going to put in our first ore grinding mill here and another one next to the ore pit there, and that will kick us off. I will also put a sand storage in just so that we've got something available here, and then another one over on this side as well. And we should be able to kick things off. So we're going to jump ahead. We're going to get a level or two up here so that we can actually start doing stuff, because the next thing we need to look at getting is going to be the glass manufacturing plants and the fiberglass plants. Now, we're a bit far off those things for now, but we will kick things off, we'll get things moved around, and we will I'm just going to demolish this. I think I might have left anarchy on or something, but it doesn't seem to be coming off, so I've had to be very careful with redeveloping things. So while we let things speed up a little bit, I have had to do a little bit of traffic management down here. So we now have a 6-lane motorway coming down here, going into a large toll booth, which we're going to boost the prices up for that as well. Then coming off here is where we're starting to get a lot of traffic, and it's mainly due to the fact that our commercial zones are starting to have a bit of recovery now that we've got a lot more residents living here. Speaking of which, I expanded Crescent Square, which was our natural self-sufficient building zone. The land value is pretty low here, so we are going to need to maybe do a little bit of upgrading here, get some parks and stuff in place just to try and boost the value of the land. It's not really helped with Cypress timber processing being right across the road, but as you can see, the workers there have now gone very, very large in terms of how many we've got there. So that's good. Also, I accidentally deleted the main building here, which is why it's gone back down to a 3-star industry, but it is now self-sufficient. We've got very little in the way of imports coming in now, but everything's starting to look a lot better there. Over at our new farming zone, Hemlock Heights, or the Green Farm, we are getting a little bit of import in here, but it's starting to balance out now as the level increases. We've got good efficiency there, but we do need to bring more workers into that zone. Over here, I redeveloped the Spring Estate. As you can see, it's still a 5-star, but it is short on workers. We need to attract some more workers to that area and try and boost that there as well. So over here, what I want to do, we've got an earthquake. It's a very quiet earthquake, but we are going to need to manage that accordingly and see where it lands. If we just have a quick look at our college, though, it's looking pretty good. It could do with some more students and increased campus attractiveness to push it up to that 5th level. There's the earthquake. I'm not quite sure where it's hit. Right, over here. It may have disrupted our tunnel. By the looks of things, we might... Yes, okay, there we go. We've got a disrupted tunnel there.
Help if you are in the affected area.
So let's see what we can do about that. We're going to need to bring this back in. All it is going to be a case of popping that road back in there when we finally get an opportunity to do so. Link it back up, and then we should be perfectly fine to carry on. I'm just going to wait for it to stop. It's cut quite a trench there, but it doesn't appear to have damaged any buildings, and it looks like it's just the... It won't even let me get my mouse pointer on there. And that's the earthquake over and done with. But you can see here, it seems to be having some difficulty. Right, we are going to repair these roads here and there, and then I will adjust that again. So we need to go underground. This one. Link that back up, and again over here, linking that back up. There we go. Right, okay, so that did not cause a great deal of damage. It has, you can see, cut a fairly fine chunk out of the landscape there, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll leave it for now. Over here you can see, you may have noticed earlier on in the video a lot of abandoned buildings, but they are starting to recover now, and we're getting our stuff coming back in quite nicely. We do have a lack of educated workers in some of these more advanced shops though, so we are going to need to keep pumping out those highly educated citizens. If we go over to the college, we do have a decent population of university students, so we should be okay for that. But residential demand has increased. Holly Pit is currently, it's not producing a great deal of resources, and we don't have a great number of workers in any of those two places. So we are going to need to try and boost the production there. And to do that, I'm going to build a little mining town just here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is, actually we do need to link this up with the main motorway here. And I'm probably going to have to sort out some sort of transport hub, because here you can see it's happened again. The major snarl up coming out of this toll booth has caused traffic to just plunder. It's not good. We have a huge issue there that we're going to need to sort out. But that's not what I'm looking to do. We're looking to do this and get this built out. So what we'll do is we'll jump ahead again so that it's daylight and we've got a bit more light of day to sort things out, and then we'll come back to this. I will see you when it's daylight. Okay, so it's morning and we have put in a garbage incinerator plant. Oh no, it's a landfill site. I didn't mean to put that one in. Right, okay. The incineration plant. There we go. Put one in there and we'll put one in here. So they should now have their own like little individual loop in terms of getting rid of their garbage and stuff. We do still need to link it up with this motorway though. And with the traffic being there at the moment, I'm a little bit hesitant to do that. So what we might need to do is put in some sort of turn off here, which might involve, just for now, so that I've got something in place, I'm going to demolish these and then we're going to put in a blueprinted prefab exchange. Now I think this T-bone interchange made by the wonderful Timbo is actually a pretty good one. I have used it elsewhere and I just need to get it linked up. Just rotate it a little bit more. That's fairly nice, and then we do need to do a little bit of jiggery-pokery to get it all kind of leveled out and linked up. Now, of course, I'm using the expanded highway there, so we are going to need to probably make a few adjustments for that, but for now, we're going to do this, and then again, we will hook it up like so, and then I'll just bring in my road adjustment tool to arrange this all at a line. Like that. And like that. It's not great, is it? What about here? There we go. That gives it a little bit more of a curve. And then over here, we're going to try and arrange this at a line which scoots that road out a little bit. And I'm hoping that this one will do the same. Perfect. Right. Okay. So that's looking a lot better. We actually don't need... I think I'm going to get rid of these. Because what it actually seems to be doing is causing too much of a snarl up as cars cut back into lanes. So we'll leave that as it is. We may need to get rid of that toll booth, because I think that's what's causing the problem. If we just had traffic flowing freely through there, we might be in a better position. But we'll leave it as it is for now. We'll get those all linked up. That's pretty nice. And then we can now link these up to the main entrance to the... In fact, I'm going to get rid of that. It's just going to bug me. So there's no toll booth there anymore. I think that's probably just the best course of action, because whilst the toll booths are good, they're not bringing in a great deal of money. And having free-flowing traffic is arguably way more important coming into the city right now. So hopefully this will sort those issues out and we'll be able to get things back up and on track nice and quick. Right, okay, that's good. I'll leave the toll booth there coming out of the city because we can still pick up a bit of money as they leave. Now then, what we need to do is get these linked up to our roundabout. And I don't want to go too hard on this, so what I want to do is I'm going to bring in the first road coming on a curve and into the roundabout there. And then this road is going to come here, somewhere in the middle, and that's going to loop around and link back up that way. So cars coming off into the industry will be able to go there, and exiting the town will be able to go there. Now what we need to do is put in a small kind of village that's going to facilitate the growth of this industrial area. And because I don't want it to be too disrupted by the industry itself, we're just going to put a nice angled route going all the way up there, and it's essentially just going to have one main street, and then we'll have a few houses just poking off either side. Now I'm just going to change this because I accidentally put a one-way road in. So we're going to upgrade all of those back to the correct road. I'm going to put a roundabout at the top. That's just going to form a cul-de-sac. So we'll have some houses at the top there. And then we can have some little streets poking off here in a little bit of a loop all the way around. So again, we want these. It's nighttime again, which is a little frustrating, but we're going to push on, bring around a little bit of a loop here, just so that we can continue the growth of this place. And that's going to loop all the way around the roundabout itself. And what we can do is, where we're backing out onto the actual mining, we'll put some low density commercial to act as a bit of a buffer going along here. Because we know mining is going to cause quite a bit of like pollution, noise pollution, and just general issues for our citizens. And then down this stretch here, we'll put some high density residential to fill in the blanks and stuff. And hopefully they won't be so bothered by the disruption caused by any of the mining that we have going on here. Great. Now, let's just have a quick look at Holly Pit. So yeah, we still need to produce quite a bit of resources before we can get our next level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a few more of the small ore mines. And then we're going to leave that to go for a little bit until we've leveled up. And we'll see what we can put in once that's completed. Alright, so our industry has expanded. Both of them have reached level 2. I am a little concerned that we might not have enough space here to fit everything in. But we are just going to demolish the original pits, and we're going to replace them with the new ones that we've got. So the first thing we want to do is have a look at what we've got. We've unlocked the ore industry workers barracks. Now, this is great because each of these buildings will increase the work efficiency by 5% up to a maximum of 100%. So we can put these in, and all we'll do is we'll extend our industry area out to here, where there's no kind of ore present, where we'll not be actually mining any of the ore, so we can have all of our barracks over on that side. We're going to put them in a little while. So the next step is going to be putting in these small underground ore mines. They give us a little bit more production than the actual above ground mines, and they all produce ore in the same way. So we're going to put a bunch of these in, just going all the way along here. Now I still think I have some form of anarchy set on because it's not giving me warnings of an overlap, so we're gonna have I'm just going to try and put these in appropriately so that they're not causing too much interference. You can see there's some overlap there, but it doesn't look bad. Next up, what we're going to want to do is put in the glass manufacturing plant, which will give us the glass that we need to start kicking off the production of our lemonade factory. Now, we only need one of these for now, but I am going to put 2 in, just because the next kind of tier in this is going to be the fiberglass manufacturing plant. And we do need to get that sorted very quickly, but we need to get our ore industry up to level 4 before we can even do that. So for now, we're going to leave it as it is. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to expand my industry area all the way along to here, and this is where we're going to try and fit in 20 of these ore workers barracks. So let's start putting these in place. We can get 1 there, and we can just carry this on all the way along. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably fit 1 in there. 11, 12, and then 13, 14. Let's just grab and adjust this zone a little bit more. So we were at 14, and there's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So all of our ore workers barracks are in there now. We have a boost to our efficiency of 4%, but again, I think that's mainly due to the fact that we are at a low level, but our work efficiency is now up by 100%. We then need to go over to the Holly Pit and do exactly the same here. So again, we'll demolish our original ore refineries, these above ground pits, and then we can start putting in our new ones. So once again, we'll go back over to our industry tab and we'll just try and squeeze as many of these in as possible to boost our production. We want to try and get up to that highest level as quickly as we possibly can. So let's just put as many of these in as we can fit. Now we may need another road for this to actually put in our barracks. I'm then going to put in my glass manufacturing plant. We're going to put this along the top end here. Says it's not in the industry area, which is unfortunate, so we're going to have to immediately begin expanding the industrial area. So we're going to push this up a little bit further here, switch back over to our glass manufacturing plant, and that should now fit in place. We're going to put 2 in next to each other, and we are out of money, so we can't put any barracks in here. We're going to have to wait until we get a little bit of cash in. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll jump ahead until we've gained another rating and unlocked some more stuff. In fact, let's take this all the way up to 4 stars, and then we will redevelop the area and try and get things sorted, getting it looking a little bit tidier than it currently is. What I might have to do is pick the one that has the highest rating and merge the 2 of these areas together, because it's only a small amount of ore in this section. If we just have a look here, you can see there's a lot more over here. So what we could do is actually move the Holly Pit right the way along there. I think we could potentially get auto mining set up quite nicely there. The thing being, you only need a few buildings in here to get it running super efficient. Looking at the chart that I have, you only need 1 small ore mine and 3 large underground mines. You then need 1 grinding mill and 3 rotary kiln plants, and then 1 glass manufacturing and 2 fiberglass plants. Now, as far as I can tell, the only ones that actually need to be within that area where you are able to get industry and extract the ore are the actual extraction pits. So as long as they're within an area, your processing stuff doesn't actually need to be in those areas where you can see the natural resources are available. I might be completely wrong about that, but yeah, we'll just see how things go. Because I am conscious that the little township we've built here, it will eventually start being impacted by the amount of mining we've got going on. So we are going to need to be very careful with that. And I would like to have a little bit of a better looking area, because when you zoom out, it looks very, very janky. We have made a little bit more money though, so I'm going to let things run a little bit longer. And as you can see over here, if we just have a look at our commercial area, it's completely full. And the demand for commercial and industry has increased massively because I did remove some of our office blocks that were up here. So that's really good. We go back over to Cypress Timber Processing. We've got plenty of workers in there now, which are helping to boost the efficiency. We do still end up importing a little bit. I think I may need to make a few adjustments, get in a few more forestry-based things here, but it might well be that we need to get to that top level to stop any imports coming in altogether. If we have a look at Green Farm, they're at 4 stars and they are still importing stuff, so we are making a loss on those. Then if we go over to Spring Estate, due to a lack of workers, I would imagine that's why they're importing things there. But if we just go over to our financial tab here and I bring up the industry, you can see here, so a lot of our we've got no income on forestry, which isn't good, and a lot of expenses. We've got no income on farming and no income on ore. We're making a loss on all of those. We've got an okay income on fishing, but our luxury products and our like warehouse and unique factory income is massive. So whilst we've got a lot of expenses here and we're not making any profit from these, it's because we're not exporting raw materials. We're actually refining them all the way through this tree here to get ourselves up and sell the luxury items, which is why we're making a much larger profit. If we go to our campus area, we're making a £4 profit from our campuses, which is good. Our transportation, not great. If I just move this little tool here, we're spending about £4.5 on that. We are making a decent income from tourism. Commercial zones are good, public transportation's good, and the park areas are decent, but it's not a great amount of income. And then if we go over to our commercial, our low density level 3 commercials and our high density level 3 commercials are huge. So potentially it's time for another commercial zone. And then if we have a look at our high density level 5 residential zones, that is massive. But it does bring me on to the idea of making a few more low density residential zones to try and bring in a little bit more profit. These high density areas here, you can see a lot of it is a self-sufficient building there, and that is the new stuff that we've put in over at Chestnut Heights, our new residential, not Chestnut Heights, sorry, it is over here at Crescent Square, our new residential area, which we expanded. So what we could do is put in a few parks and stuff just to improve that, but overall, our expenses are lower than our income, which is all we can really hope for. We don't have any loans or anything, which is really good. Garbage is something that we could look at. But yeah, we're getting a fairly large amount of income from across the board. General industry, I've started putting a few of those in the specialised zones. So if we just head back over to the Spring Estate here, you can see we've got a number of basic industries peppered throughout this area. And I might actually do the same with mining. Oh dear, there's a huge fire. And autumn mining, oh my word, this is awful. Now we have fire engines coming over to assist, but my word, what a nightmare this was. I think it's because there's quite a bit of forest in here, and a lot of stuff has kind of just happened over time. But what we're going to do is, just to make sure, we're going to put in a couple of fire watch towers, just to try and improve the safety here, and give us some nice coverage. They're great, and as long as you have a fire helicopter depot, they can come over. But the nearest body of water is at Aspen College in Aspen Park, where the actual lake is. So that's something that we're going to need to just watch out for. I would hate for these mines to get destroyed and the village in between whilst we're just trying to upgrade it. So I think we'll actually call it there. We've started on our mining district. We have a little bit of commercial and industrial demand that we're going to need to fulfill. But I was going to jump ahead and show you it finished off, but I think we'll leave that for another day. Just having a look over here at our population, we're at 59,000, which means we're about 11,000 off becoming a metropolis and unlocking airports and cargo airports, which is really good. We've got a load of unique buildings and things, and I might decide to put some of those in very soon. But what I really want to do is knock out as many milestones as possible so I can expand and get as much land unlocked as I possibly can. I am kind of on the verge of considering a complete redevelopment, because this has been the first phase of our city for quite some time. But now that I've leveled up quite a few things, I don't know how I feel about that. So, my question to you is, would you like to see a complete redevelopment of everything before Cities Skylines 2 launches? And yeah, would you like to see me demolish and get everything done? I kind of want to unlock this plot of land first before I do that, so I've got a nice large amount of land to play around with. And it would mean an essential like reset on everything in the city. But yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about any of it. I would just like to kind of do a little bit of landscaping and terraforming and get everything working again, because the traffic is a major issue and I would quite like to make some adjustments. But it does look beautiful and we're looking pretty good. Let's just have a quick cinematic look at how everything is as we begin a rainy day. Look at that traffic. This is one of the things that I really want to sort out, and one of the things that I'd like to get a bit more experience in as we move into Cities Skylines 2, which actually by the time this video releases will have come out. Now, I haven't pre-ordered, but it is on Xbox Game Pass, so you can expect some Cities Skylines 2 content from me when it does finally launch. Please ignore the blaze in the horizon there. But there's a lot of development that we can still be doing here, and I may put in a bit of time just to make a few adjustments and reset this space a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.